In 2025, women have seen it all. They've seen the fake "good morning beautiful" texts. They've seen the guys trying to impress with money. They've seen the pickup techniques that worked back in 2015. They've seen the nice guys who expect sex in exchange for flowers. And they're completely sick of all of it. Let's tell the truth without sugarcoating it. The rules of the game have completely changed. What worked to attract women 10 years ago now makes you look desperate. What used to be called romantic is now a red flag. What used to be persistence is now harassment. Today, you're going to learn something most men still don't understand. In 2025, attracting a woman isn't about impressing her. It's about being genuinely impressive. And that includes men who think that more money will get them better women. It also includes men who think that better pickup lines will make them more successful. But guess what? Women in 2025 can smell insincerity a mile away. They've been on dating apps since they were 18. They've received thousands of copy and paste messages. They've dated dozens of men who were trying to be someone they weren't. And here's what no seduction guru will tell you. Winning a woman over today isn't that difficult. You just have to know how they work. Believe me, I'm a woman, and in this video, I'm going to reveal exactly how our psychology works. Take note. Point 1. Radical authenticity is your secret weapon. Let me start with something that will completely change how you see attraction in 2025. A modern woman can tell the difference between a real man and a man acting a character in seconds, not minutes, seconds. Why? Because they've seen every fake version of a man that exists. They've seen the guy who says he goes to the gym but clearly doesn't. The one who says he loves traveling, but all his pictures are from the same place. The guy who talks about investments while still living with his parents. The one who copies Instagram quotes thinking he sounds deep. And they're tired. Completely tired. But most men still don't get this. They keep pretending. They keep exaggerating their lifestyle. They keep showing off money they don't have. They keep using recycled lines they found on TikTok. And here's the problem. The more you fake it, the more ordinary you become. Because everyone is faking the same thing. Everyone is trying to be the same perfect version of a man. And when everyone tries to be perfect the same way, nobody is special. But a woman in 2025 isn't looking for the perfect man. She's looking for the congruent man. What does congruent mean? It means what you say and what you do match perfectly. It means there are no contradictions in your personality. It means you're the same man in person, on social media, with your friends, and with her. Here's a clear example. One guy drives a luxury car but is always borrowing money for gas. He talks about investments but can't pay his share of the bill. He brags about his apartment but is stressed out because he can't pay rent. Versus the man who drives a modest car but lives debt-free and at peace, who doesn't talk about money because he doesn't need to impress anyone, who pays the bill quietly because he truly can afford it. Which man do you think an intelligent woman will feel safer with? The second one. Point 2. Value now is measured in energy, not things. Here's where most men get stuck in the past. They still think winning over a woman is about what they can give her. Gifts, expensive dinners, flowers, costly experiences. But that worked in 1995, not in 2025. Why? Because women in 2025 already have access to all of that. They can buy themselves flowers. They can pay for their own dinners. They can book their own trips. Many of them make more money than you. So what do they actually value now? Energy. Specifically, how they feel when they're with you. And there are 4 types of energy that a modern woman finds irresistible. First, calm. In a world full of stress, toxic social media, and constant pressure, A man who radiates genuine calm is like an oasis in the desert. He's not the man who's always anxious to impress her. He's not the one who gets nervous when there's silence in the conversation. He's the man who's so comfortable with himself that she automatically relaxes when she's with him. Second, safety. Not financial safety, emotional safety. The feeling that with this man she doesn't have to walk on eggshells, that she can be herself without being judged, that he won't switch personalities depending on his mood. Third, genuine fun. Not the guy who tries too hard to be funny, the guy who truly enjoys life, and that joy is contagious, who can find humor in everyday situations, who doesn't need alcohol or perfect circumstances to have a good time. Fourth, intellectual challenge. A man who makes her think, who has interesting perspectives, who can hold deep conversations, who doesn't agree with everything she says just to please her. When you combine these four energies, you become addictive. But here's the key. These energies can't be faked. You can't act calm if you're internally anxious. You can't fake emotional safety if your self-esteem depends on her validation. You can't pretend to be fun if you don't genuinely enjoy your own life. These energies are the direct result of your personal growth. And here's the brutal reality. A woman in 2025 doesn't fall for money or empty compliments because she has an excess of both. She can order fancy food from an app. She can get hundreds of compliments on Instagram. She can buy anything she wants on Amazon. What's truly scarce is quality energy, the full presence of a man who isn't checking his phone every 5 minutes. A man who truly listens when she speaks, not just waits for his turn to talk. A man who doesn't need constant attention because he's already full internally. That scarcity is what creates real value. Here's a specific example. You're on a date. Most men would be trying to impress her by talking about their achievements, their plans, their possessions. But you're different. You give her your full attention. You ask questions that show you're genuinely interested in knowing her. You carry a relaxed energy that makes her feel comfortable opening up. At the end of the night, what do you think she'll remember most? She won't remember what you ordered or how much it cost. She'll remember how she felt with you. And if your energy both calmed her and challenged her at the same time, you're addictive. Point 3. Attractive detachment. Now let's talk about the biggest weakness men have in 2025. The belief that they need a specific woman to validate themselves as successful men. And that neediness is repulsive. Why? Because women can smell desperation from miles away. They can sense when your self-worth depends on their approval. They can feel when your happiness is conditioned on how quickly they reply. They can detect when your self-esteem fluctuates based on how much attention they give you, and that pushes them away instantly. But here's the plot twist most men don't understand. In 2025, scarcity isn't in men who want women. There are millions of those. Scarcity is in men who don't need female validation to feel complete, and that scarcity makes them irresistible. Here's exactly why this works. When you don't chase desperately, when your life flows perfectly with or without her, when your mood doesn't depend on her replies, your value explodes in her perception because you're showing something very few men can show, that you're complete by yourself. And a woman cannot resist a man who is whole. She can't resist someone who chooses her because he truly appreciates her, not because he needs her to fill emotional voids. Here's a specific example of what this looks like in practice. She ignores you for 2 days after an amazing date. Most men would panic. They'd start sending messages asking what happened. They'd analyze every detail of the date looking for mistakes. Their anxiety would be obvious, but not you. You keep living your normal life. You keep going to the gym. You keep working on your projects. You keep hanging out with your friends. You don't change your routine or your energy because of her silence. And when she finally texts you, you reply with the same relaxed energy as always. What do you think happens in her mind when she sees you didn't react dramatically to her silence? She becomes curious. She wonders why you're different. She wonders why it didn't affect you like it affects every other man. And that curiosity creates attraction. But be careful. Detachment is not coldness. It's not being cruel or indifferent. It's not treating her badly or ignoring her for revenge. Detachment is emotional power. It's the ability to stay centered no matter what happens externally. It's the security of knowing your value doesn't depend on any specific woman. It's the difference between, if she doesn't want me, I'm worthless, desperate attachment, vs. If she doesn't appreciate me, that's her loss, healthy detachment. That difference in mindset shows up in all your behavior. When you have healthy detachment, you don't beg for attention. You don't beg for time. You don't beg for chances. Instead, you offer your best self and let her decide if she wants it or not. And that pressure-free offer is magnetic because it tells her, I'm a man of value. You can take this opportunity or let it go. Either way, I'll be fine. And that emotional power attracts more than any memorized pickup line ever could. Point 4, standing out from the 99% with subtlety. Here's where we're going to talk about something super specific and practical. 99% of men send completely basic messages. Hi, how are you? You're so pretty. What plans do you have for the weekend? And these messages go straight into the mental trash bin of any woman. Why? Because she's received that exact same message from 47 different guys this week. There's nothing memorable. There's nothing that makes her think. There's nothing that sets him apart from the other 50 boring conversations she already has open. But you are going to be different. You're going to be the 1% that actually breaks the pattern with intelligence and subtle humor. And here's the key. In 2025, it's not about being better than other guys. It's about being different. Let me give you some specific examples. Instead of, you look beautiful, you say, that smile says, I just did something I wasn't supposed to do, but I don't regret it. Instead of, what are you up to? You say, judging by that photo, looks like you're either planning something exciting or something a little dangerous. See the difference? The first type of messages are generic. Anyone can send them without even looking at her pictures. But the second type shows that you actually noticed something specific about her, that you paid attention, that you have the ability to make sharp observations, and that makes her feel truly seen. But here's the crucial part. The humor has to be subtle, not forced. You're not trying to be a comedian. You're not trying too hard to be funny. You're just being observant with a touch of playfulness. And that subtlety is what makes it work. Here's the psychology behind it. Women don't remember the guy who flatters them in a generic way. That doesn't build any emotional connection. But they do remember the guy who broke the monotony of their day with a smart observation. The one who made them smile genuinely. The one who showed a unique perspective on something. Those interactions create memories, and memories create emotional connection. But beware of these common mistakes. Mistake 1, trying to be too funny and ending up weird. Mistake 2, using humor that could offend or make her uncomfortable. Mistake 3, copying lines you found online without adapting them to the specific situation. The real key is developing your own voice, your own style of observing the world. your own way of finding humor in everyday situations, your own way of connecting with people. And that's not something you learn from a course. It comes from being genuinely curious about people and about life. When you develop that skill, you don't need canned lines, because you can create genuine connections in real time, based on what you actually notice about each specific woman. And that ability to adapt and be authentic is what really sets you apart from the 99%. Don't try to be better than the rest. Be different. Point 5. The real conquest is your growth. And here we arrive at the point that changes everything. The easiest way to conquer a woman in 2025 is to stop trying to conquer her. I know it sounds contradictory. I know it goes against everything you've been taught, but let me explain why this is the most powerful truth you'll ever hear. The real conquest is not in what you say to her, it's in how you build yourself. And here are the 4 pillars of that construction. First pillar, taking care of your body. You don't need to be a fitness model, but you do need to show that you respect yourself enough to take care of your temple, that you have discipline, that you have standards for yourself. When a woman sees you take care of yourself physically, she automatically assumes you also take care of yourself emotionally, mentally, and financially. Second pillar, a clear mind. This means having real goals, having purpose, having direction in your life, not being lost, waiting for a woman to give meaning to your existence. A clear mind shows up in interesting conversations, in confident decisions, in the ability to lead without being controlling. Third pillar, strong goals. Not goals that just sound good on social media. Real goals that genuinely excite you. Projects that make you wake up energized. Ambitions that go far beyond getting a girlfriend. When you have strong goals, you radiate purpose, and purpose is magnetic. Fourth pillar, a rich social life. This doesn't mean being super popular. It means having genuine connections with people who add value to your life. Having real friends, not just numbers in your phone. Having a social circle that shows you're the kind of person worth spending time with. When you have these 4 pillars solid, something magical happens. You no longer need to conquer any woman, because your life is already conquering. Your energy shifts completely. Instead of being in, I need to impress her mode, you're in, let's see if she fits into my amazing life mode. And that energy shift changes everything. Because a woman in 2025 is not impressed by what you say. She's impressed when your life is already impressive without her. When she sees you have a routine you love. When she sees you have projects that excite you. When she sees you have friends who genuinely enjoy your company. When she sees you don't need her to be happy, that's when she becomes curious. Curious about what makes your life so interesting. Curious about how she can be part of that life. Curious about whether you will choose her to join you on that adventure. And that curiosity turns into desire. But here's the most brutal and beautiful irony of all. When you no longer need to conquer a woman, when your life is so full and satisfying that a relationship is just the cherry on top, not the whole cake, that's exactly when all of them start trying to conquer you. Because now you are the prize. You are the scarce man, the one who's not desperate, the one with options, the one building something bigger than just his love life. And that man is irresistible. The irony is this. When you no longer need to conquer a woman, that's exactly when they all start trying to conquer you. Because you've understood the most powerful secret of 2025. It's not about being the best man for any woman. It's about being the best man for yourself. And when you become the best version of yourself, the right women will naturally gravitate towards you. Not because you need their validation, but because your life is so genuinely interesting that they want to be a part of it. That's the real conquest. It's not what you do to get her. It's who you become in the process. And that man you become, that's the man every woman will want to conquer. If this video shifted your perspective on dating in 2025, hit like and subscribe. And tell me in the comments, which of these 4 pillars do you feel you need to work on the most? Are you ready to stop chasing and start being chased? See you in the next video. And remember, the best conquest strategy is not needing to conquer anyone.